So I'm just trying to say that we should always try to remember those that are less fortunate than us. If you ever think you're less fortunate, there's always someone more fortunate than you, in somewhere, some way, somehow. So what is the point I'm trying to make? The point I'm trying to make is that I, believe that, in the United States, we should have, like I've been saying, places for people to stay, food for them to eat, jobs for them to go. There's many a person that's been disabled that said, I wish there was a factory here. And that's where there would be like a assembly line. That way that person, could make as much as they could make, before it, went against their, food stamps and their housing and all that. Because, the person, is disabled, and they, didn't want to, get that, messed up. Because, they have a lot of medical needs. Some people do. They can't afford to lose their medical because the government won't allow them to make over a certain amount of money. And if they do, lo and behold, there goes their check, there goes their insurance, there goes, just about everything, even their apartment maybe. That's why some people, can't do that. I mean, it's kind of a sad situation. And what else do we need in this world too, along with housing? We need to have places. There are some, but not too many. But there needs to be more, care out there for the children. Child care. There's many a time that there's mostly single moms that they don't have a babysitter for their children. And pretty much what it equals up to is that single mom, or sometimes single dad, goes and, goes to work, has a job, trying to do right, trying to, make a living, for their children. And, the cost of childcare equals up pretty much about to what they're making. So, in other words, what they're doing is they can't actually work because the monies that they make, it actually reverts to the child care. So that's why that is another reason that, that's so. But there should be corporations out there and there are some, that have a certain floor or something that is, for childcare, like a nursery of sorts. And but there needs to be more programs out there in the communities in the United States. If we need, I'm going to go ahead and say, we need, more women in the United States to get into a job to where, they could do the health care, not the health care, but more of, should I say, the child care, at child care, daycare centers and stuff, while, they can do such things like that. And, they make them take courses and stuff. One is called Shaken Baby. I don't know if any of you ever heard of that before. But it was explained to me by someone, a woman that had worked in a daycare, that it means that's courses they have to take. And shaking baby means that, the baby's crying a lot, whatever. And that means, don't grab the baby and shake it. Because, it's so, vulnerable and bodily speaking, that the brain inside of the baby's, head, starts shake real bad. It can cause brain damage, all kinds of stuff. They see that, but it's just, this is what I say. If it ever has anything to do with the nursery, it needs to be women. Men, I think men should have no part in having anything to do with childcare. Now, if they want to drop your kids off over there, sure, but, it's just, it's not worth it. They have to have, they do. They have cameras everywhere. They even have cameras over every stall in the restrooms. Okay, so, and it's just, I say, Father Michael says it's wiser that women would work at these places rather than men. Because of many factors, and everything. A man could get accused of something he didn't do. But generally, when it's women, that doesn't happen, with the children. But I'm not saying, not that I'm saying all men would do that, or I'm not saying all men just couldn't work there in a nursery, but it's more ideal for a female. But if that would really be help the communities out, having these daycare centers, for free or for kind of a reduced price. Maybe they could go on a sliding scale. I don't know. And that way they could have that health, that child care for that whole day and how many days, they worked or whatever. And then that way they could make more money for themselves and make more money, to where it would be going toward the work money would be going towards them and their families, rather than just from your work money going straight to the daycare center. It's a double negative there. That's just the way it is, and that's the way that's just the fact. That's the way it is today. There just is, not enough daycares, and there's not enough, and people, there's not enough daycares out there that have the funding to be like a nonprofit type of daycare too. That could possibly, take care of children for free while the other parents are working, making money. But, to organize such a thing would be something in itself, and, all the monies it would take. It could be done. This is the United States. This is the land of dreams. These dreams come true. Sometimes the dreams do come true. That's just one thing I really think about that we need in the United States. We need to help the homeless people. We may have them have places to live. Sometimes there's little children involved with these homeless people. They're homeless too, and they're with their mama, or in a little tent somewhere on the street. That woman and those little itty bitty kids are susceptible to a lot of bad stuff. When I don't believe it needs to be that way. But okay, I am a minister. I do preach and I do teach, and I could sit here and I could preach to you all day long about how I think,